Hi, welcome back to another edition of El Jefe N Scale, and today I'm going to be demonstrating my new Kato Sound Box with this Prairie 262 with the light steam card and showing you how it's hooked up and the basic operation of how everything sounds. So I'm going to forgive the lack of editing, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod right now and show you the setup. The Kato Sound Box is a middleman between track power and the throttle. So the throttle DC output is input to the sound box, and then the sound box outputs the DC track voltage to the layout. So that's how that works. I'm not using the built-in speaker on the sound box. I'm outputting through the line out on the front, and I'm going into an external USB sound card, a Creative Labs card, which I'm upmixing everything to 5.1 because I believe the signal is a mono single channel, and that's not gonna wasn't gonna do it for this setup. So we're upmixing it to 5.1. We have a little equalizer processing, so that's all gonna be output to the speakers throughout the room, and it gives for a much bigger, more realistic, impressive sound than I've ever heard on any N-scale locomotive speaker. So I'm going to dock the camera back up to the tripod here, and we'll get this going. So when I turn the sound box on, you're going to hear the spool up of the dynamo, and you're going to hear the air compressor start to engage. And what's cool about the air compressor operation on the light steam card is the frequency of the pumping varies. For example, when it starts up, you'll hear a more frequent oscillation of the compressor, and as the tanks supposedly get filled with pressure, then the frequency of the pistons on the compressor will go down, and it varies depending on how much air brakes and so on that you use. So here we go, guys. We're going to power it on. Okay, so you just heard the dynamo spool up, and now you're hearing the air compressor. And now we're going to back up to this consist. Okay, so now we're hooked up. Let's release the brakes. I know I didn't do that in the right sequence. I'm trying my best, guys. I'm still getting used to the controls and the buttons on the sound box itself right now, so bear with me. So we're going to pull forward a little bit. Forward. Okay, and now with the cylinder cock blowout, what's kind of cool is I'm going to hit it in a minute when it's stationary, and then we're going to get going, but you can hear the piston blowout work with the cylinder cocks, which is pretty cool. So let me demo that. You hear that? Let's back it up. So that's the cylinder cocks, and I'm going to take the camera off the tripod, and we're going to run her around here. what's a cool feature is the sound box is actually reading out the back EMF of the motor. So you can see I'm holding the camera in one hand. If I'm going to put my fingers up here and I slow it down, the output of the sound box actually depends on how the wheels themselves are turning. So that's pretty awesome. Coming into the station here, we're gonna start coming to a coast. A little brake squeal, and we're gonna bring the steam down to an idle. Whoops, I accidentally bumped the throttle there. Back up a little bit. Okay, so that's my demo of the light steam card. I know I could have probably done a little better, but like I said, I'm still getting used to the operation of how the thing works and the interaction with the throttle and the different buttons and everything. But it's pretty damn cool. It's working out really good. Thanks for watching, guys.